Hi, this is Jason Long, and welcome to Famous People That Are Cool. In today's Famous People That Are Cool, I'll be talking about one of the earliest stars of MTV. One of the guys that really went from being like an unknown to being one of the biggest stars of that decade, the 1980s. I'm talking, of course, about Billy Idol. Billy Idol grew up in London, England, as William Michael Broad, and then he got the name Idol because he's always late to school. So it went from being IDLE to IDOL, hence the name Billy Idol. He had the band called Generation X during the whole punk movement back in the 70s. Didn't have their biggest breakout till their breakup, which was Dancing with Myself, thanks to Billy Idol's popularity. And it was on, I don't think the video was on MTV until like 83, and then they made the video with just Billy Idol. Basically, what the video is like him trying to destroy zombies with his rocking, like, Weirdly enough, it's directed by the guy who did Poltergeist and Texas Chainsaw Massacre named Tobe Hooper. Yeah, even he directed music videos. I think it was just before John Landis did Thriller with Michael Jackson. That's how long ago it was. He was like the first, you can say, film director that did a music video. Yeah, also he did White Wedding. He had like a bunch of 80s hits everybody knows. Pretty much, if you even don't know who Billy Idol is, you know the hits. And there are a bunch of great hits too. Like, it doesn't matter if you're a punk guy, pop guy, hard rock guy, metal guy. I don't know anybody that doesn't like Billy Idol. He's one of the very most likable guys, like in possibly in music history, aside like this side of Huey Lewis. I don't remember anybody saying a bad word to Billy Idol except for maybe Johnny Rotten. He's talking about he's like the Perry Como of punk. Maybe punk wasn't his thing. Maybe he just wants to do something different. Just made him like a big star. He was happy about it. Yeah, in the 80s, he was the big deal. I think like one of my babysitters at the time, like during the 80s, was a huge Billy Idol fan. Plus, she had like a crush on him, so yeah, kind of helps for her. Like, all I can say is like she had good taste. I'll give her that. In music and, guys, he's one of those guys that guys want to be like, and girls want to, But in 1990, he was in a motorcycle accident that almost cost his life. And it's during that time he had a hit single called Cradle of Love, and that was everywhere back in 1990. It was on music videos, it was on commercials, it was on, that soundtrack to Ford Fairlane, which I really liked. Sorry, Chris Aiken, I thought Ford Fairlane was awesome. Everybody has different tastes, Anyway, Bill Idol is just like the man. He was the man of the 80s. He had the spiked blonde hair. He had the right look. He's got the sneer like this. I don't know if I can do it right. I look retarded doing that. Let's put it that way. When Bill Idol does it, he looks cool. That sneer. Man, Billy Idol was just like a great guy. Plus, he's a great guy in real life too. Like, he's just one of those chill dudes. Like, he's the type of guy like you'll have a beer with, and he'll just talk to you stories about how, at his peak he does some crazy shit, and still got off really cool. I mean, aside from his Washington Square incident in the 80s and the motorcycle accident, he's a cool dude. I don't think there's anything about him that says sell out or anything like that. I mean, a lot of people say at the time he kind of sold out. It's like, no, not really. He didn't go anywhere as a punk guy. And then, it wasn't until, MTV, the advent of MTV, that he became, a huge star. He just basically, it's like I said, from rags to riches. Think Eminem, back in the late 90s where nobody's heard about him. Once MTV, radio, and all that just blew up. For him, he became a huge star. It's the same for Billy Idol in the early 80s. He went from being a nobody to being one of the biggest stars of the 1980s. Kind of like one of your all-time male Cinderella success stories. So anyway, thanks for watching my video, and I'll see you later. Late.